my body back and forth.
What's your diet?
I don't eat like normal people.
I eat in an OMAD diet, so it's 1 meal a day.
I left the corporate world 6 years ago and I took up all the certifications to become a clinical certified nutritionist with a focus on gut health.
So the main goal is aging slower than the actual age. And that's when you know that you're on the path to longevity.
And I was a young mom, so I had a son at 22 and he's 20 now.
Wow. Let's talk about your business.
My brand is called Be That Life. I have as my podcast is Be That Life. My company that I coach one-to-one high level is Be That Life. And now my supplements brand is also called Be That Life. Also, I actually have a gift for you.
No way.
Yeah.
Gifts are actually my love language, so perfect.
Yeah. I knew that before coming here, and that's why I wanted to gift you these
Thank
gifts.
you.
So without further ado, I'm Radin Jerome. Wherever you are in your life or wherever you're going, whether financially, spiritually, or for your health, I hope you're on your way. Now let's get into it.
Mary.
Hi.
I'm loving the look.
Thank you.
You've vibed out today.
Yeah, totally.
Very vibey.
You know, I mean, I'm getting into a really nice car. I'm hanging out with a really cool guy.
Thank
I gotta
you.
look cool.
Thank you. Well, listen, you've done exceptional. I feel like I'm underdressed now. I've never met somebody that's come into my car and made it look like it's their car as quickly as you have.
That's hilarious.
So, do you live in Dubai?
I do.
And what's your background?
So I actually grew up here. I feel like I'm Emirati somehow, even though I'm not really Emirati. But
Can you speak Arabic?
like the basic words, you know,
Okay.
like to just hi, hello, those kind of
Okay,
things.
karak.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you like karak?
I love karak. Do you?
I do,
Yeah.
but it's like a lot of sugar.
Oh, it's a lot of
I
sugar.
Try to
Yeah.
have it, minimize the amount of karak you have.
Yeah.
But anyway, I moved out here when I was 5. My father's English, and I was born in the UK, and my mom is half Spanish and Filipino. Back in the 80s, when I moved out here, there was nothing in Dubai, so it was no Sheikh Zayed Road, like
Wow.
full-on desert, and yeah, I mean, it was a very much an import country, you know, like a fisherman kind of setup back in the day. And so growing up here was really cool, I think, because, you know, you got really thrown into the deep end with like the diversity of the cultures. Being in school as an expat kid was insane. I would always think of it as like one of the best experiences of my life, because if you grow up in a country like Australia, where you have like just Australians, or you have a lot of international, but sure, it's like mainly Australian, or if you grow up in many parts of Asia and in Europe, you're pretty much growing up with the same kids throughout your kindergarten, you know, secondary school, and so on. And for me, every year it was different, because I would have to say goodbye to my friends and make new friends. So from a very young age, you're taught how to become like an extrovert. You have to be, you know, and very open-minded. And I think expat kids are the best kids, because they are so open to change.
There was a study done by a guy. He hung out with, I think, like the top 10 billionaires of the world, and he did a book extensively. Like for a year, he hung out with him. I think with Elon Musk, he followed him for 1 year with his permission. Like Elon Musk was allowed that to happen. And he said the one common trait that all billionaires have is adaptability. They can be in any situation and adapt like that. So I think that for you, having to constantly adapt and make new friends has made you the woman that you are today.
Absolutely. I think one of the most important traits for an entrepreneur, for someone that really wants to push the envelope, is you can't have fear. You need to be a risk taker. You need to be willing to make all kinds of risks, whether you lose, whether you win in that. You need to be able to know that you can go all in and be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes really successful people. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So do you find it's, so obviously you're different. You're very different, right? Women are typically more the nesting type, right? They're not the risk takers. They're not the business. That is changing now as we're going to the future and everything, and women are just like, we can do it too. So I think with that, with that upbringing that you had, has already put you ahead of a lot of women to be able to do business and take risks. Is that right? Do you think you have more of a tolerance for risk than other women?
I would say that I do have a lot of tolerance for risk, but also it has a lot to do with my upbringing. It's not even just about that I was raised as an expat kid, but I think it's like the trauma that I've experienced from such a young age. And I was a young mom, so I had a son at 22.
Okay.
And he's 20 now.
Wow.
Yeah, so 21 this year. So being a young mom and then a single young mom, it really changed perspective for me. So it's funny because, you know, they say that when you are a young parent, you grow up way too soon. So I really feel like I'm living my 20s now that I couldn't live in my 20s.
Yeah.
So I was really focused on trying to raise a child and become a good parent and all of those things that I didn't have growing up. I wanted to be the best mom for my son. And I think that now that I've passed all that and, you know, raised a child and graduated from being a parent, I'm trying to build something that I guess a lot of women in their 30s and 40s just want to have children. I'm now, like, it's a reverse for me. I'm now like living my dreams that I couldn't live in my 20s. I'm now focusing on that.
Have you had more kids since then?
No, I don't want any more.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
You're
it.
done.
Done, so done.
What's your star sign?
Capricorn.
Okay. Because you're a free spirit.
I am.
You're a very free spirit.
Yeah, I am. It's good you can pick that up.
Yeah, of course. 80% of communication is nonverbal.
True.
Right?
True.
Like I always tell people, I always know when one of my staff members are going to quit 2 months before they quit. I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
They're not challenging me on any ideas. They don't really care anymore. Their facial expressions. I hate doing meetings over the phone. I want to read your body language to see what you're actually thinking.
That's a gift, by the way, because not everyone can read that.
I understand.
It's a pretty good gift.
I understand it's something, but it's teachable too, I feel.
Yeah, I think some things are teachable and some things are innate. You know, so I just believe like there are born leaders and there are people that are just out there to really create the difference and they can make it. And there are others that no matter how much you try to teach them, they won't push it. They won't try to make that difference. They won't. You know, I've worked with so many high net worth individuals. When I started off my career, it was really focused on trying to create an impact from top level down. And you can see it, like there are just those that are born leaders who really can create massive organizations and create really good employees who want to stay in companies. And there's those that really struggle with that they need to hire CEOs within their organization to be able to create that because they don't have that skill. So, you know, I don't think all entrepreneurs, all born leaders have all skills.
Sure.
And that's why we hire people to be able to, fill in the gaps that we can't.
Exactly. Not one person is perfect. Everybody has blind spots, right? That's why it's so good to have a good business partnership because I identify your blind spots and you identify my blind spots. Together we become the perfect human.
Yeah, co-creation and collaboration, I speak very highly of that. I'm an advocate for that. I believe that we can't make change if we're going to be doing it solo. I think we really need to be a part of a larger space of people who want to create those same things.
Okay, so start from the beginning because obviously you have an American accent. Right. Where did you grow up?
I'd say it's an international accent.
Okay.
And,
to me, as an Australian, it sounds American.
Yeah, I know. I get that often, but
Yeah.
I think it's more like an international accent. If you grow up as an expat kid in any part of the world, I would say, I mean, I have friends who are expat kids in Hong Kong and they sound like me.
Yeah, true.
You know,
true.
so it's just an international accent, I would say,
True.
less more American, because when I hang out with American friends, they wouldn't say I sound American.
Sure. Got ya.
So yeah, being raised as an international kid in the region, you're always surrounded by, my teachers were Canadian, they were American, they were British. My classmates were all from all over the world. So it's really hard to pick up a British accent when you grow up with such a diverse pool of accents.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to pick up more like an American
Yeah.
twang kind of it to accents. So yeah.
You're right, actually. People that have studied in international schools, they always pick up an American accent.
Yeah, it's an easier accent to pick up,
Yeah.
I think.
And also, like, I lived in New York for 1 year. And I found that the biggest thing that America exports is culture. Everybody wants to be black.
Really?
Everybody wants to be, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to rap or whatever. So I feel like, and movies, theater, music, like the biggest exporter in the world. America's the biggest culture exporter in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be like, that's what I found anyway.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. That's right. It's true.
Yeah.
But you know, they've dubbed the UAE or Dubai as the new LA.
Yeah, they
You
have.
heard of that?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
You got such an LA vibe. As soon as you said that, I felt like you were in LA with,
Yeah, actually
with your
never been.
frappuccino.
I've actually never been to LA, but
Okay.
that's the goal. I want to go. I've been to other parts of the U.S.,
Sure.
but LA not yet.
Where did you grow up?
Here.
You grew up here all your
I
life?
was raised here, and then I left for university, and
Where did
then
you go?
came back to the UK.
UK, yeah.
Yeah, the weather was terrible.
Yeah.
It's not a place that I would ever see myself living for a long period because, like, I'm used to vitamin D every day. Like sunshine and great weather, and it's really difficult for me to adjust to like cold temperatures for longer periods.
Sure. Okay, so you grew up here, you went to university in UK, and then you moved back straight away.
I did, yeah.
What did you study at university?
I studied something completely different from what I do now, so
Okay.
interior design.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got into interior design, but as soon as I left uni and came back as a single mom, I didn't even take that up as a career. I went straight into law firms, and I worked in law firms for over a decade. And the law firm space in that industry really changed the way I looked at the world. Like, you're surrounded with extremely intellectual people all day, every day. It was more about like, how am I going to go up that corporate ladder? Well, how can I team it faster, quicker, be around like, people who can get me there. So it was really just that was my goal. So I always had a goal to become successful, and I just think it doesn't matter where you put me in, I will always thrive in that space because I think I have the discipline to get me to where I want to get, and I think I have the people skills. And more than anything, you would know, like, communication is super important, surrounding yourself with the right people, but also those skills to be really, really good at communicating.
So how did you get into gut health?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in health, but primarily because I lost my father when I was almost 23 to cancer. So he died before he turned 60 with that disease. But it wasn't even about that he got cancer. It was more about how the conventional medical system managed that process. So my father was a heavy drinker and smoker. So also one of the reasons why I don't drink or smoke. And he was going for regular checkups. So every 6 months he would go and do a checkup. My father back in the day was an entrepreneur. So he run several businesses, a lot of stress. He didn't really have friends. He internalized a lot of his emotions, frustrations, whatever it was. He didn't have an outlet to let that out. So as you would know, I'm sure you're in the health space yourself, opening up gyms and so on, that any emotion that you store internally will cause sickness eventually, right? If you're not going to be, and being a man, men in general, even back in the 80s, now it's getting better where men will start speaking about their problems, but that was not something common back in the day. You were not looked upon as somebody manly or masculine if you would be someone that would talk about your problems, So he did that for many years, like checkups and so on. And then it was only up until he developed stage 3 cancer that they were able to be diagnosed that. He was already showing symptoms that he was peeing blood, but they were like, no, you're fine, just take these pills and you're okay. So I think that was the most hurtful part and the most painful and frustrating part for me, was be able to be like, you're going for regular checkups, you're not be able to diagnose that until like someone's really ill, and when it's really like very little chance of you're surviving, you're going to be telling us that you're sick. So when you're young, and I come from a family of 4 siblings, and we don't know what to do, you're really young, you feel helpless and hopeless. So that's really when the journey started, about caring so much about health. I'm a massive advocate till this day about cancer awareness, cancer prevention. I invest a lot in charity organizations, really focus on cancer research or on children that have cancer and so on. So that's really when my journey started. Even though I worked in corporate, I was so focused on health in corporate, like mental health, retention of staff, trying to make it a happy place for people to want to work in, to be in, but from a health perspective. And then it was only up until my son went to go live with his father in the UK when I really decided like this was my opportunity where I can just focus on creating a business of my own. So I left the corporate world 6 years ago, and I took up all the certifications you could possibly take up to become a clinical certified nutritionist. So and with a focus on gut health. And when I did that, it became life-changing. Being able to transform people's lives was just something like I could have never imagined anything else, that I want to be able to do anything else. You know, to wake up with that purpose and, you know, somebody depended on you, was depending on you, and then you changed their life. So, yeah.
Did your father die from colon cancer?
My father died from various different types of cancer. It started with gallbladder initially, and then it spread to liver and blood.
Okay. So how did you, was that the motivation for you to go into gut health?
The motivation for me to go into gut health was primarily because my son had gut-related issues.
Okay.
And from a young age, he developed all sorts of issues, not just gut-related, but he had like motor tics. That's a whole story on its own, but yeah, he developed some crazy like neurological disorder and dysfunction that I just didn't understand at the time because I had no idea what that was. And from being a young mom, and there are many young moms out there who know nothing about what it's like to become a parent. We're not given a life manual to become a parent, you know, so, or we're not given a life manual for anything in life. You know, we go to school, we learn the basics of what life is, and then we come out and we make mistakes, and that's how we learn. You know, if we don't have parents who are educated or parents who know so much, or, you know, not born into a family that are entrepreneurs or who know a lot, you're, you know, kind of stuck. You learn from friends and mistakes. So I was one of those, and I didn't know anything about his neurological dysfunctions or his disorders, and then the gut-related issues. I learned along the way. So I did a ton of research, did everything I could possibly do to help him heal. And he healed. He healed the natural way.
Wow.
And it was because of that I was like, you know what? The gut-brain axis is super important.
Yeah.
People don't know much about it. But also with working with clients, you know, when I first started off, I wanted to specialize in sleep. Not many people know about that, so I don't talk about that a lot too. It's the first time I've ever mentioned that. So I wanted to specialize in sleep because, you know, being someone who slept really well, when I worked with clients, they never slept at all. You know, I found that a very fascinating thing because like I'm someone that can't function without 8 hours of sleep. How about you? Can you function with less hours of sleep? Are you someone that can operate on 4 hours and you're completely fine? Or do you need a lot of hours?
I need 7.
Yeah, you need it, right?
Yeah,
and if
I
you're
need
not
7.
getting it, you're feeling really tired during the day, you get cranky, you eat way more food that you should be eating to give you enough energy. So yeah, I'm the same. Like I need 8 hours to be able to function, and the older I get, I really need it, you know? So...
that's why I have this.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. I didn't get a good night's sleep at all.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at the app and it said you've done 1% of REM sleep.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Nothing.
That's terrible.
So I went back to bed and I woke up at 9:30, and then I don't know what happened last night. But
Yeah, sometimes maybe you ate late?
I had pho, I had soup, and like it was like really chilly. I think that might have woke me up, I don't know.
No, apparently it's really good to be in a good temperature room to be able to sleep better.
Cold or warm?
Cold.
Cold, it has to be cold.
Yeah.
18 degrees I hear.
Yeah.
But see, then you wake up and your throat's dry because of the aircon. No?
Yes, also, that's true. But you know, I grew up here. You know, after so many years of being in air conditioned all the time, you end up just getting used to that.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess it's for people that are not used to that, that come here and develop all sorts of problems. But it's not even just about the air condition, it's the quality of air that you're getting from air conditions because of the mold and mildew toxins. Do you know much about this?
No, tell me.
Yeah. So, for example, in a country like the UAE and many other countries, I guess, in Europe that use air condition, the buildings are structured in a way that they've been built for what, 10 years, 15 years, and so on. How can you clean air vents in air-conditioned buildings? It's really difficult to clean the vents. You can clear the external bits, but can you actually physically go in there and clean them every single day? I don't know a single person in the UAE who does that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So over time, with the use of these old pipes and these old ventilation systems, they develop mold and mildew, and these toxins from that we're breathing.
Yeah, we're slowly killing you.
Yeah, and that's what's causing allergies, intolerances to food, gut-related issues. And this is why a lot of buildings now have either plants or humidifiers.
Sure.
Because you need to counterbalance that somehow, right?
I mean, ever since I moved to Dubai, I've been here 1 year, so I'm like a Dubai baby.
Yeah.
Like, so many times, maybe like, I used to pride myself in Australia for never getting sick, all right? Now that I moved to Dubai, and I'm not getting sick, but my throat is always dry now because of the air conditioning.
Absolutely. And we're in it all the time. You're either in your car, in your office building, in the mall, or at home.
Always air conditioning.
Always air conditioning.
I'm not complaining. It's nice, but since then, my throat has just always been dry.
It's not even just about that, you know, people complain about it. It's not about that at all. It's just that it's good to understand from a perspective of health and well-being why you need to counterbalance that with something else. You know, you need to get a humidifier at home, a really good Dyson one.
Sure, okay.
You know what I mean?
I need to get one.
You totally need one. It will change that.
You're putting me on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
You need to get one.
I will, because obviously I've been in Australia all my life, so my body's conditioned to the Australian fauna and flora. Here, it's different. Like, I haven't got food poisoning here or anything like that. I think I'm okay with the food, but I'm not eating in dairy either. So I think I need to do something about, because I'm getting allergies now.
Yeah.
I never used to get allergies.
Yeah.
Like this morning I had
Many people that come to Dubai tend to have a lot of like different symptoms that they would normally get from where they live.
Yeah.
Your body is trying to get accustomed to a completely new place. Also, like the air that we breathe, it's like dust everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like kids are getting sick here. Like I have friends that would have to go back to the UK because their kids just can't handle Dubai.
Yeah.
Their allergic reactions are through the roof and they're always ill. So they literally can't survive in this kind of environment that they need to go back home. So yeah, it's about putting the right kind of protocols in place so that you can thrive here.
Yeah.
So it's not even that you can't, you can.
Yeah.
It's just knowing how.
Sure. What's your diet?
That's a very loving and interesting question. I love this question the most. The reason why is because I don't eat like normal people. I would say, well, what's a normal diet? Let's talk about the normal diet.
Do you eat meat?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about what's a normal diet to you.
What's a normal diet to me? Well, I'm different. I fast every day. So I start eating at probably 12. And I have a 6-hour, 8-hour window that I eat. And typically I like to eat healthy. But yeah, sometimes obviously you go out, you can't. Like when I go out drinking, like the next day I really can't fast, right? But I don't do that as often, and I'm starting to cut that out. Do you drink?
No.
You've completely stopped?
7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about your boyfriend?
He quit too.
He's good too.
Yeah, he's a year in.
Okay, because it's hard to not drink, but you have a partner that does.
This is why I chose to have a partner that doesn't drink too. And it's lucky, like we met at a period where he wasn't drinking, so it was perfect for me, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard, you're right. It's really difficult to be in a lifestyle when someone's completely opposite from you.
Yeah.
You know, it causes a lot of problems in marriages and many things, you know. Like, I just think, like, you need to be able to be like-minded, not just from, you know, business or have this loving relationship. I think you need to be like-minded in values and principles of life.
Sure.
You know, so, and that's why it works so well.
Going back to diet. So, I don't cook yet. Everything's just so easy. It just comes to the house. So I try to eat healthy, you know what I mean? Like eggs, sweet potatoes, whatever, you know, mushrooms. That's my diet. But what's a typical diet? Tell me what you
Okay, so I would say like the normal standard American diet. Let's talk about the American diet, because that's a terrible diet.
Yeah.
You know, they would eat like what they would normally promote now. It's not even 3 meals a day, 5 meals a day. They're promoting to eat less but eat more. Like eat more times in a day, and I don't believe in that at all. Like focusing on gut health and focusing on inflammation. When you focus, if you're someone that focuses on gut health, your primary focus is reducing the amount of inflammation that happens in your body, because the less inflammation, the longer you live. The more inflammation, the shorter you live. You know, but inflammation can be triggered by many ways. It isn't just about the food you eat, but we can go a bit more into that later. So for a standard American diet, it's eating 5 meals a day, and even 3 meals a day. It's like breakfast with all sorts of crap, lunch and then dinner, right? And then maybe having snacks in between. I don't believe in that. I eat in an OMAD diet, so it's 1 meal a day.
Wow.
The reason I do that is because, you know, from many years of trying many different varieties of all kinds of diets, I found the diet that works for me the most. And Dr. David Sinclair, I don't know if you know who
I
he
do.
is. Yeah.
He's Aussie.
He promotes 1 meal a day diet too. He eats on a 1 meal. It's a really hard diet to follow. So I wouldn't say I am, 100% on OMAD diet, but I would say I'm 90% on an OMAD diet.
Sure.
And that works best for my metabolic rate, my metabolism, the way that my age, those kind of things, all these things matter. And because I'm in my 40s now, Dr. David Sinclair really promotes the OMAD diet for everybody above their 40s. So 40s, 50s, 60s, because why? Our bodies are not able, just our organs, our liver is not able to digest food the same way as we are when we're younger.
Yeah.
And we want to reduce inflammation, and the more food that you eat, the more you're causing your body inflammation because you're not giving it time to digest. This whole 2-hour window until you eat your next meal. I believe in fasting. I think intermittent fasting, from years and years of working with clients, the one thing that's worked for them is the fasting.
Yeah.
So I fast, I eat 1 meal a day, I choose the meal that I want to eat.
Any meal you want. So you don't care if it's a hamburger, pizza?
No. I choose the meal that I want to have in terms of either breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Sure.
The period doesn't.
Is it always the same, or is
No, so sometimes I would have a lunch and perhaps sometimes it's a dinner, but I never have breakfast.
Never have breakfast, okay. So it's always, what is it usually? Is it breakfast or lunch?
So I wouldn't have a breakfast.
So it's Ramadan for you all year, every day?
Yeah, so I would just have a lunch and a dinner, or a dinner.
Lunch or a dinner.
Or sometimes if I would need to go and have commitments, I would have sometimes both, but primarily it would either be just one or the other. And I feel great that way. But I know myself too, when I eat more meals, I get more bloated. My body is just not accustomed to eating that way anymore. And I recently did the telomere test. Do you know the test where you are able to check the age of your cells?
Wow.
So you need to go and do this test.
I'll do it,
So
yeah.
after we're done with this podcast, you're going to go and do that test.
Sure.
Okay? And then you're going to tell me the age of your cells. So basically, we have our chronological age and we have a biological age. And now, the difference between our chronological and biological age is the age that we actually are. So I'm 43 and you are?
34.
Yes. And when I did my telomere test, when I was 40, the age of my cells are 29.
Yeah.
So the main goal for people today is they need to make sure that the age of their cells is aging slower than their actual age. And that's when you know that you're on the path to longevity.
Where do I do this?
There's a clinic actually in Berlin. It's called Freiburg Laboratories. It's the only one I trust really because all of them are really taking the test for you and then going there to get it done. So just go to the source directly.
And is it a simple blood test?
It's a simple blood test, but it takes a while to get the results, about 4 to 6 weeks.
And they'll tell you biologically how old you are, in a way.
Yeah.
Amazing. Because you look amazing.
Thank you so much.
You ooze health,
Thank you.
right? Like
Thank you.
you have
That's
that
the goal.
twinkle in your eye.
That's the goal.
Your skin is, you don't have any, it doesn't look like you've got bags under your eyes or anything.
Oh, thank you.
Everything is just clean.
Thank you. Yeah.
You probably make it to 100.
I'm that's the goal. 150, I mean,
Yeah, you make it to 100.
now the days are now with the advancements in technology, they're trying to get people to live to 120, 130.
Wow.
I would love to live that long, but healthy.
Healthy. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? I
Me
don't
neither.
Put me out of my
So
misery.
physically, put me up.
Yeah. I want to be healthy and go to that age. When you do eat your one meal, what do you eat?
It depends, but I try to get as many macros in there as possible. Now,
What does that mean? What does
do you
macros mean?
Macros, that's in your protein, carbs, fat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what
I'm a gym owner, but I don't really know the lingo.
I see that.
Right?
I
don't
can
know.
tell. I can tell.
I like the business
but I
model.
mean, I think it's important to be able to get all sorts of the vitamin, mineral components that you need to be able to thrive in a day. In 1 meal a day, you're not able to get all of that. So I supplement a lot. I'm big on supplementation, and I believe in them.
Sure. Okay. And obviously that's why you found your supplement company.
Exactly. But there's a story. There's an even bigger story as to why I ended up founding that supplement
tell me.
company. You ready to hear it?
I'm ready.
Okay, so my brand is called Be That Life. So everything that I have is my podcast is Be That Life. My company that I coach one-to-one high level is Be That Life. And now my supplements brand is also called Be That Life. Now the reason why I tried to build it around Be That Life is because I feel like, not just for my own journey, but your journey and everyone else's, we're always looking outward in other people's lives that we want to emulate and be like and achieve.
Sure.
And whether it's in business, whether it's a family, whether it's relationships, we're always trying to attain something. And you know, we have a role model, we have mentors, we have advisors in all aspects in what we want to do in life. And when social media came into play, it became social media as the what do you call it, as what we look at as what we want to gain in life. Social media is this place where we want to have the nicest car, we want to be in the best relationship, we want to have all that wealth, we want to have better health, and so on. But we look at it and we're like, we want that life. Be That Life was born out of me wanting to create that life that I always looked externally, but then I wanted it in my own way. So I want Be That Life from the supplement perspective to be a community of people, of wellness seekers. It's going to be like, I want to be a part of longevity. I want to be part of a community that want to help me grow and thrive and become better at whatever it is that I want in life. So it's a cult. I want it to be like a cult following. And I want Be That Life to be a household name, not just like you buying the supplements, but you know that you're part of a community that will be there for you.
Sure, I see what you
Thrive,
mean.
to live,
Okay.
to grow, you know? So before I started my supplements brand, I was really frustrated with a lot of the supplements that are on the market. There's tens and thousands of supplements globally. You know, it's a money-making machine. People want to get into the supplement space because they think it's just like you can go sell a supplement, people will buy it, and you can make a lot of money. But it's more than just that. You know, buying supplements for myself, becoming a lab rat for working with different brands that I believe in, and becoming a lab rat for supplements that I wanted to create because I cared so much about longevity. There were a lot of false marketing on brands that they shouldn't be promoting. You know, I can talk about one, the gummy industry. There are a ton of gummy supplements out there.
That vitamin gummy.
Yes,
Yeah.
not even just vitamin gummies, like so many other ashwagandha,
Sure.
apple cider vinegar gummies.
Yeah, I've seen those.
You know,
Yeah.
you know the brand that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about. So they're promoting all these gummies and thinking that they're good for your health. First of all, the potency of gummies is ridiculous. There's none.
A lot.
You know, you're gonna take a gummy and expect it you're gonna be like super healthy in a gummy. They don't work.
It's a marketing gimmick.
Yeah, it's a marketing gimmick. And number two, imagine gummies or any kind of like product that you're going to be trying to promote. It's still a food product when you think about it, because gummies is still sugary. You need gelatin to be able to bind them together, and then you're going to add a little bit of whatever you're going to be adding as a component to say that this is a vitamin and you take it, it's good for your health. It's sugar. You're giving your children sugar every single day. You're taking sugar yourself every single day. You know, and there have
Which
been
causes inflammation.
which causes inflammation. But another thing is, they've done studies on gummies when they've noticed that they started developing mold.
Wow.
For longer shelf life, they develop mold, like any food product. You can keep it for an extended period, they will develop mold. You keep fruit, regular fruit for too long, they develop mold. So you think gummies wouldn't develop that too? So, and then people don't know that, and they're ingesting mold constantly in their bodies. So I don't believe in the gummies form. I think that's just false marketing and telling people to buy ridiculous amounts of things that doesn't help your health. Another thing is the supplements that are being sold in the market are actually really low in the actual component of the product that you need to be able to thrive, and more of synthetics. So you're not even getting the right kind of compounds and the nutrients in your body. You're ingesting more in synthetics.
Sure.
So yeah, trying to find really good products in the market is really, really difficult, and you can find more products that are actually bad for your health than are good for your health. So here I am trying to promote products to my clients, and so as somebody who specializes in gut health, the components of every ingredient was super important for me. And because I struggled with finding the best, I was like, why don't I just create my own? You know, it's time. Every single ingredient in my product is just one. In my supplements, it's just one ingredient per supplement that I'm creating. It's not like
a
5
cocktail
or
of
6.
things.
No, not at all.
So you specialize in one thing rather than trying to jam pack a lower dose of everything.
Totally.
Because I don't really take much supplements, to be honest.
Okay, is there a reason why you don't take supplements?
Because I'm lazy.
Okay, but do you feel like you get all the vitamins and minerals
No,
every single day? When was the last time you did a blood test?
often.
Okay, and
Yeah.
is it pretty good?
Yeah, my doctor's a friend of mine. He just messaged me saying everything's good.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good. So it means you're eating pretty good.
Yeah, well, look, like for breakfast, we'll see, I fast, but like yesterday I had like eggs, mushrooms, and sweet potato, and then I had a pho, like a Vietnamese soup, right?
I like the pho.
Yeah, you like pho?
I do. I've been to Vietnam, so
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's kind of, I try to eat healthy,
it's good.
right? But I should do it. I should start getting the vitamins in and supplements. Do you drink coffee?
I do not.
You don't drink coffee?
No, I've never been a coffee drinker.
Okay.
I've never been addicted to anything.
Okay.
I just don't like I think it's also like preconditioned in me from a very young age because I grew up with a father who had addictions. So like I grew up not wanting to be a part of anything related to addiction. Like I don't have a sugar addiction. You know, I don't have an alcohol addiction. I don't have an addiction to anything really. Maybe like the healthy form of addiction, like workaholism
Sure.
is known as a healthy form of addiction.
Sure.
But other than that, like, I don't really have an addiction that's like bad for your health. And coffee is addictive.
Sure.
It's, I was speaking to a friend the other day, and when we were sitting and having breakfast, and every single table beside us was like, can I have a coffee?
Yeah.
There is an addiction to coffee.
Yeah. I'm addicted.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to coffee.
Yeah, and most people can't start their day without drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And
That's me.
and most of my friends are. It's very rare that I meet people who don't drink coffee.
Yeah. Even though I fast, I have black coffee in the morning, which is fine. You're still in the fast state with black coffee, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like you disagree.
Mm-hmm. No, you are.
Okay. So that's why in the mornings I just have that, and that kind of gets me through. But I might have 16 coffees a day.
No, honestly.
I have a lot of coffee.
How many?
Maybe 15 or 16.
Realistically, really?
Because, well,
So it's just a black coffee every
black
day.
coffee. Like, but that kind of suppresses my appetite too, so I can fast.
Okay.
I don't do the 1 meal a day, but I probably fast, even though you're supposed to fast for 16 hours, I probably fast for 18
Okay.
a day.
Okay.
And
That's
I
good.
eat for 6.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I think that also helps with why your biomarkers when you go and do your blood tests come out really good because you're really giving your body enough time to rest and digest.
Yeah, rest and digest, get everything out.
Correct.
What causes constipation?
Why are people not pooing, first of all? They're not eating enough fiber. And that's the reason why they can't go to the toilet. And the consumption of fiber is causing you to be constipated. Now, can you imagine, I don't think a lot of people know what a colon looks like, but maybe you can then specify it when you're showing this,
We'll put one up.
podcast, what our colon actually looks like. And can you imagine that being backed up because you're not having, and can you imagine being backed up for days? Sometimes even a week, because you're not going. That's toxin. That's like poison in your body. And that's what causes cancer. And that's what causes disease. And that's what causes inflammation. So that's what happens when you're not going to the toilet, and when it just gets backed up in your colon. It's getting stuck.
I have a little sister, which I adore. She was born when I was 10 years old, so she's basically my child. And her name is Rosie, right? And I'm sorry, Rosie, for putting your business out there like this, but this is what an older brother does. It's my responsibility to embarrass you. She goes to the toilet once every 4 days. She's had a colonoscopy, and they've said everything is normal. And the doctor said that's normal. I think when I read the statistics online, it's normal to go to the bathroom once a day. The average adult goes 1.7 times a day. Once every 4 days it's really a cause for concern. But the doctors are saying it's normal. Is she not getting enough? And I wouldn't go to the doctors anyways. I don't think people should go to doctors for health concerns. As an example of your father, right? Them telling him it's okay, don't worry about it. Is she not getting enough fiber in her diet?
How old is she?
23.
And I mean, I think it has a lot to do with understanding what does she eat. Do you know?
She eats salad.
She's pretty healthy.
Yeah, she eats healthy. She eats salad.
But has she always been constipated, or
All her life. She has just gone to the toilet once every 4 days.
all her life?
All her life.
Is she healthy, like a healthy weight?
No. She's probably a little bit heavier than what she should be. She doesn't go to the gym, even though her brother owns gyms and she can go to any. She doesn't. Yeah, she works at Apple, right? She works like she
it's like
she
a
likes
desk
computers. Yeah, she likes computers. She's walking around. She always goes, "Look at my Apple Watch. I did this many steps today."
Yeah.
But she doesn't exercise. Her diet is good. Like it's not bad. It's like Persian food, rice and whatever, this and that. But she has salad. I've seen her eat salad.
Yeah.
But is it a diet? Is it a fiber thing? What is it?
It's a combination of many things, to be honest. Like you just said, like she doesn't work out, so there's really no movement to be able to help the bowel. You're not helping your bowels. You know, bowels isn't just about what you eat. It's so many other things too, right? It's, you know, does she consume enough tea? Is she allowing the body to be able to digest the food better? Our organs are so incredible when it comes to the way it digests our food, but if you're not helping it, how is it going to be able to do that? You know, so she doesn't have any movement. She said she sits all day. She probably sleeps like really late too. She's probably eating like a high sugar diet, you know, and not consuming enough water, you know, not enough liquids in your body, definitely not enough fiber. Fiber, you know, you can get fiber from natural sources like psyllium husk. You know, does she take a fiber supplement? You know, is she getting enough fruits and vegetables? You know, there's this saying about servings between 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. It's unrealistic. No one can eat 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. But you can then kind of accompany that with various other things. You can take supplement form. You can, you know, in the blue zones, the amount of people in the blue zones that live long and healthy lives drink 6 to 7 cups of tea a day. Does she drink tea?
She drinks coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of coffee.
So coffee is also, we spoke about like coffee.
Yeah, it dehydrates you.
100%. 100%. Just like alcohol dehydrates you, coffee does too. And you know, the consumption of people who drink water nowadays, it's not even that high. The quality of our water is not that good these days too. You know, the pH levels of the water that we're drinking today is not great. All of these bottled water, distilled bottled waters, where they're being made, where they're being put out out in the sun before they get delivered to your home. The filtration system that we have, I don't know what it's like in Australia. If you have like, do you drink from tap?
We drink from tap.
Yeah, okay, so it's known to have like really good water.
Yeah, we've got good water there, but we still purify it. We still put it in something to purify it, but it's not like here where you got to drink out of the bottle. And the issue with drinking out of the bottle is it's on a ship, exposed to sunlight.
Also the microplastics.
Exactly, the microplastics go into the water.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at the statistics about bowel cancer is on the rise, especially in young people. So that's why I sent her to do a colonoscopy and everything was fine. Why is bowel cancer, especially among young people, on the rise?
But bowel cancer in many forms, when you think about it though, especially that I had a podcast with a friend of mine who is a specialist in cancer. It is hereditary, by the way. Colon cancer is hereditary, and a lot of people don't know that. And if you come from a family that has colon cancer, you're more likely to get it.
Sure.
Did you know this?
No.
Yeah, you're more likely to get this, and you need to start testing as early as your 30s.
Wow.
Yeah, and they don't tell you that in conventional medicine, that you need to start testing as early as your 30s. It's the same for women that have breast cancer. You know, doctors are now stating that women are starting to get breast cancer as early as 21 nowadays. So it's from the water that you drink, the food that you're eating, the highly processed foods that you're eating, the air that we breathe. There's so many reasons why we're just starting to get sick such an early age now. Because when you think about it, the amount of processed foods in supermarkets and the takeout culture that we have today, we're using seed oils, like super inflammatory oils to create our foods. we are in an import culture, which means that a lot of the foods that we're having here, it's not farm to table. So the amount of herbicides and pesticides that we're ingesting from food alone is causing us to become sick. For example, in the US, they still have a pesticide that they're using called glyphosate that is basically causing people to die early. You know, it's poison for the body. It's banned in Europe and in this region, but in other parts of the world, you're still using that. And I don't know many people who wash their fruits and vegetables the proper way. All they do is they run it in the tap water, soak it in a bit of water, and then they consume it. But that's not killing herbicides and pesticides. If that was killing herbicides and pesticides, then it's so easy to just, you know, have a bit of rain and then, you know, your crops will get all, you know, infected by all sorts of animals if that was the case. But they needed to make the herbicides much stronger than that. So it means just using water to clean will not clean up the vegetables. The new survey came out with the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Do you know what those are?
No.
The Dirty Dozen are basically 12 types of fruits and vegetables that contain the most herbicides and pesticides, which means that you need to be very careful in how you wash that to make sure you're not ingesting that. And then the Clean 15s are the ones that contain less of that. So if you have a list of the 12 of the dozen which are really, really toxic in terms of herbicides and pesticides, it's best to buy that organic. Do you buy organic produce?
I don't, but I don't buy anything. I have everything ordered to the house. The only thing I buy is coffee.
Yeah, order to the house means you're takeout.
Yeah.
You always get everything delivered.
But
as in,
not,
like, order takeout food.
Yeah, but not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad,
healthier
but
versions.
I don't think the salad that I would get, let's say for example, like a chicken salad, I don't think the salad would be organic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, got it.
But
But you should have it organic.
You should, yeah. Because the pesticides that they spray on it, you really need organic. Going organic is the best way to prevent cancer.
But from when we're talking about animal produce, it's not so much about the herbicides, pesticides. It's about the antibiotics and the hormones that they end up getting them to eat. So that's where you need to care about when it comes to produce, meat and poultry produce. But then when it comes to fruits and vegetables, it's the herbicides and pesticides.
Do you cook?
I do.
So you just cook? You don't?
I prefer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were to eat at a restaurant, sure, but I don't like ordering food too much. I like to make my own home-cooked meal. I mean, I focus on gut health and nutrition. It just would be going against all my values and principles if I spend 80% of my time eating out. Let's just say 20% it would be eating out, but 80% is really, I like to make my own meals.
And you don't order in? If you were to order in, what do you order in?
I would order in maybe if I had a guest staying with me,
sure.
You know, or you know, I had friends over and they wanted to maybe order something like a takeout, I would probably do that. Or if I had like a really late day, or I had like a week of like extensive like meetings and speaking engagements and so on, and I didn't really have time to cook, I would probably order out, but when I would order out, it would always be like a plant-based meal. So I'd have a poke bowl, for example.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I like those kind of things.
Yeah. I do that too. That's probably where I get a lot of my food from, poke bowls.
But it's really important that when you're going to order a poke bowl, don't order raw food. So don't order like raw salmon. Yeah, or raw tuna. Yeah. Always make sure that you're buying these cooked, and because as you would know already, like, you know, raw foods just causes parasites in your body. You end up ingesting and you develop parasites. And there have been studies that have been talking about ingesting raw foods from sushi that causes brain parasites. Yeah. So you want to limit as much as raw food as you can eat. But also, aside from that, you know, a lot of the salmon and the tuna that we're consuming today is farmed. And you also want to avoid that. So it's always better to buy wild caught than it is to buy farmed. Sure. And you can't control that when you're eating outside, you know? Yeah.
If you like this video, consider subscribing. We do weekly podcasts with experts in every industry to help you find direction and guide you on your way. Now let's get back into it.
So when you go grocery shopping, you always buy everything organic?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What do you cook, by the way?
I love plant-based stuff, so I cook a lot of plant-based meals, but then I love to incorporate fish in there. I don't eat too much chicken or beef, but I do include it in my diet. I'm a massive believer in bone broth. So for those people that don't consume bone broth, they must. It's great for gut health. So I drink bone broth every day. I either make my own or I buy it. A friend of mine owns an incredible bone broth company in Dubai. It's called the Broth Lab for those that are looking to purchase bone broth. And yeah, you can either consume bone broth. I love making soups. I love to eat a lot of vegetables. I like to have a lot of smoothies, so I would then make smoothies, fruits, vegetables, mix them in, drink them.
So do you have like a smoothie with your one meal a day?
Yeah, I would have a smoothie with my one meal a day.
Okay. So it's not like you'd have a smoothie and then 5 hours later you'd have one
No,
meal?
I'd have my smoothie with my one meal a day.
Okay.
So I would always incorporate either spirulina in there, you know,
Okay,
like
yeah.
that kind of stuff, maca root.
Yeah.
So like just healthy superfoods.
Yeah. What's something, if for somebody that's busy and doesn't have time, is got a busy lifestyle, what's a powder that they can add to their smoothie to, you know, make their lining of their gut stronger, so you don't have leaky gut?
Collagen.
Collagen that solidifies the walls.
Collagen is incredible for that. 100%.
Incredible. Wow.
Collagen is really good for gut health.
Okay.
So definitely collagen. I would definitely promote collagen. I would also promote spirulina. You know, either blue or green spirulina is really good. I would also promote moringa, coming from the moringa leaves.
Yeah.
So you can get them in powder form.
Yeah.
So, and turmeric,
Turmeric.
it's a spice, yeah.
I know turmeric.
Yeah, so I create this really cool kind of recipe that I then freeze, and I add I have a cup or about 3 cups a day. So it'd be moringa, ginger, and turmeric. And you know, in the Indian culture, they love to have turmeric every single day, and they would mix that just in a bit of water and drink it, and it's great for anti-inflammatory. And so what I do is then I would add a bit of water, I'd add moringa, I'd add ginger, all in powder form, and turmeric. Obviously get like high quality, add a bit of water and then freeze it in the freezer in cubes, and then you can take those cubes out and make tea every single day. Fresh tea. Why do you need to buy it in packet form when you can make fresh tea every day? And then you know that you're adding value to your health in terms of like everything anti-inflammatory.
I feel like you drink a lot of tea.
I do. I drink maybe like, I mean, some days, max I drink 6 a day.
Okay. Is that the first thing you drink when you wake up?
Yeah,
What kind of tea?
it is the moringa blend.
The moringa blend. So not like a English breakfast
No, I'm not really a big fan of the
tea bags?
tea bags. You know, I prefer making my own version and I just drink that.
Sure.
When I'm outside, sure, I would drink the tea bags, but in general, yeah.
What's a normal gut transition time from your lips to the bowel?
I didn't understand that.
So
What do you mean the gut transition time?
from the time you eat something, what's the normal time for it to come out of your body?
It should come out the same day, definitely. You need to be able to go to the toilet daily. So I mean the digestion period for every meal, it's 6 hours. Give your body
So
6.
faster the better.
Yeah, totally.
So would that really? So you would say probably a high metabolism would be
Going to the bathroom right away.
yeah.
Yes, totally. Like my son has this, for example.
Yeah.
Like any meal he eats, he goes straight to the bathroom.
Wow.
100%.
But would it be would it be the meal that he had previous to that meal?
I would say it would be the meal accumulated from the meal that he ate to the meal that he ate currently.
Sure.
So for example, but he goes in every meal. He just goes.
Every meal he goes.
He goes. His metabolism is insane.
So he goes 3 times a day.
He goes a lot, yeah, he goes a lot.
Is that normal?
I would say, depending on your metabolism again, so I think it really varies. You know, you can't, when it comes to great gut health and when it comes to health in general, we're so unique. So I don't think you can say that one is an example for how everybody else should be. So I think everyone's so different. Our microbiome is so different. So I wouldn't say like everybody should go 3 times a day and that's
Yeah.
normal. I think just going 1 time a day is normal.
Yeah. Got ya. I'm going to throw some stats at you.
Okay.
Okay. And it's to do with fiber. 95% of the population is deficient in fiber.
True.
Right? The average woman is getting about 15 grams of fiber a day when they're supposed to be getting 25 grams. The average man is getting 18 grams of fiber a day when they should be 38 grams. Is this due to ultra highly processed food? Are they just sucking all the fiber out to keep it on our shelves for longer?
So let's just talk a little bit about farm-to-table food. Farm-to-table food means that you're retaining a lot of the nutrients because it's going directly from the farm to the table. Now, we live in an import culture. A lot of the countries out there are importing food today. 40% of the nutrient value from food is stripped when it's imported, which means that you're not getting all the nutrients that you want from food. So if you are consuming, let's say, a bowl of salad or a bowl of fruit, that's already minus the 40% of the nutrient value from the bowl of fruit that you're consuming. Again, when we're consuming watermelon, we're not consuming the entire watermelon in one go. We're consuming a portion of the watermelon in one go, right? So the 40% that is stripped from the entire watermelon, a portion of that you're eating, which means you're not getting much nutrients from fiber in food. Again, today, the average person doesn't even consume fruit, doesn't even consume vegetable. How about somebody that has IBS and can't consume fruit? You know, we're so deficient in so many things and so many health problems that many people can't even consume fruit today, can't even consume vegetable today. Doctors are telling you that you have IBS, you can't consume fruit. Irritable bowel syndrome means your body can't even take in that kind of food anymore. So yes, the reason why so many people are deficient is because every single thing that people are consuming today, they're either allergic of or intolerant from. You know, so people are so confused. They can't consume anything. So this is also the reason why people are having lack consumption of the fiber that they should be consuming from diet alone. Another thing is the consumption of the food today is highly processed, highly toxic, highly inflammatory. So people don't even know what to consume anymore. You know, so that's the reason why a lot of the problems and deficiencies we're having today is because the food content is not like what it used to be. Most people are eating highly processed. Most people are deficient because they're not even supplementing on supplements.
So what I understand from that is people are having food they shouldn't be having, and then they are causing inflammation in their body, which then when good foods with fiber goes through the body can't even absorb. It can't even absorb the fiber and the nutrients that it needs.
There's not enough fiber. People are just not consuming enough fiber, period. That's what the problem is with the world today. The amount of fiber that should be consumed, it should be even double because we're not getting enough from the nutrients alone. It's stripped.
Are you making a fiber supplement?
I'm not making a fiber supplement, no.
What's a fiber supplement you recommend?
Psyllium husk.
Okay.
Psyllium
Is
husk
that a tablet?
You can get it in powder, you can get it in capsule form also.
Okay. You mentioned before gut-brain, the connection between the gut and the brain. Talk to me about the connection and how does the gut's health affect the mental state of the brain?
Okay, so let's go back to when we're children. Okay, I'm going to give you like a simple example for everybody to understand. As children, we are programmed by our parents that there's this like reward system. So you're offered a treat when you do something good. And when we're offered a treat from a very young age, as we get older, we associate that treat as a reward system. So that's the reason why, for example, when we're younger, you can have an ice cream when you do really good at school, or you can be given a chocolate bar when you complete this chore at home. So from super young, we're programmed into thinking that food is a reward system. And as we get older and we're developing stress, for example, I mean, the amount of times that I have had stressful situations that I would, if I'm not mindful, I would want to have a pizza. Or I would really like to have a piece of chocolate, you know, because it makes me feel good. You know, I mean, we can't lie, it makes you feel good. And why is that happening though? It goes back to when we're younger. Don't you ever have that feeling too when you are stressed and when you are feeling like, you know, you had a heartbreak or something really bad happened in your business? Either you're going to go towards alcohol because alcohol also makes you feel better, or you go towards food.
Whenever I'm sick, I do this thing that is crazy because when you're sick, you don't taste anything. But when I'm sick, because I'm in pain and agony, I eat the food that I want. I eat pizza or a hamburger, but I can't even taste it. so I don't even know what I'm doing, but I still do it. So whenever I'm sick, I always like smash
Yeah,
a pizza or something.
because it's that reward system. You feel
Yeah.
like food automatically is comfort. It makes
Correct.
you feel better.
Yeah.
But I don't think many people understand why though. They automatically think that yes, sure, sugar is addictive. Highly processed foods, because highly processed foods also, by the way, contain sugar. So then that's also addictive. But it goes back to psychological when you think about it though. Where does it come from? You know, it isn't just that these are highly addictive, but there's a backstory to that. It stems from somewhere. It stems from how we are preconditioned as children. Because everything that we do as adults is a preconditioning from somewhere. You know, it's how we're taught when we're younger, how to be, how to behave. The trauma that we experience in life makes us behave a certain way. We restrict certain things in our lives because of the trauma that we experience. Anything that there's triggers, any trigger that we have in our lives, whether it's, you know, in business, in relationships, becoming a parent, we then use something to base that trigger, and that comes from what? From childhood. So the gut-brain connection is the same. You know, everything that we put in our body goes where initially? It goes in our gut. And the gut is then dealing with all sorts of things, because if we want to feel better, we're eating something. So how is that connection happening then? You're eating, you're feeling better. Where does the feeling better happens? The brain. Right? So there's that connection. So over the years, like, I don't know, the last, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years, this has become a massive topic in research. So yeah, there's this whole talk about, you know, the gut being the second brain, and the focus primarily on mental health is how it impacts your gut health. So if you're eating right, sleeping right, doing everything for your gut, your mental health is in pristine condition. But you need to focus on how you fix your gut health to be able to have incredible mental health.
Talk to me about the benefits of fermented food.
Yes. So fermented foods are known to be either probiotics or prebiotics, and again, they develop probiotics and prebiotics, and are the reason why these are so good is because they develop good bacteria. And you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with bad bacteria, but most people think like, oh my God, you have like bad bacteria. You need bad bacteria and good bacteria to be able to balance it out in your gut microbiome, because it's impossible to just have good bacteria always, right? So what fermented foods does is that it helps you repopulate your good bacteria, and that's why people should eat it more. Sauerkraut, for example.
Sauerkraut, kimchi.
I don't know, a lot of people can stomach kimchi because it's spicy. You know, but I love kimchi and I can take it. But I mean, a lot of people, like people who even have acid reflux, can't digest that well.
Yeah.
You know.
What about pickles?
Yeah, I like pickles.
Pickles are good?
Yeah, pickles are really good.
Okay.
Do you like pickles?
I love pickles, but I also have pickles after a night of drinking. I always have I drink pickle juice before I go to bed.
Oh my gosh, I don't
Yeah.
know anyone that drinks pickle juice.
Yeah, everyone in America. I found that in America. Because the hangover is you getting rid of all the salt in your body. The next
Yeah.
day when you wake up, all the salt is gone. So in a bar in New York, they said, can I have a pickleback juice? And you just give a tip, right?
And
They
you
do it
feel
for free.
better right away?
The next morning.
Wow.
You feel right away. They give you a shot of pickle juice and everyone knows, oh, he's leaving.
Yeah.
Pickle juice, and then you just give him a tip, you shut it down, and then you go home. So I learned that in New York, really.
That's amazing.
So-
I had no idea.
Yeah. So it's because of the salt.
But pickles in general are really good for you.
Would you say pickles are fermented fruits or fermented vegetables?
What would you say?
Fermentation to me means, you know, you put it in vinegar, you put some garlic in there, some dill, and you leave it in there for a little bit, right? Pickles are in salt water though. They're not typically in vinegar.
No, it's not fermented.
It's
But
not
you
fermented.
but you can create fermented pickles though.
So
But
pickles,
the pickles that you buy in the jars are not fermented. But you can create fermented pickles.
so those have no benefit to the gut health?
No, it's really good for gut health
It's
too.
still good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But you can also ferment it too.
You can too. Yeah.
Tell me some of the signs of an unhealthy gut.
I love this question. There are a lot of signs of an unhealthy gut. Under eye bags, brittle hair. You see like white spots on your nails. Bloated.
Okay.
Bloated. If you're bloated. dry lips, for sure. Dry skin, for sure. Those are good signs. Those are good signs of a really unhealthy gut.
Sounds
Acne.
like I've got acne. Yeah.
Acne. Terrible gut if you have acne. You know, acne is in many ways hereditary. Like you can get it because your family, people in your family have it, but also it's from a very poor gut. If you're not taking care of your gut health and you're eating like really high sugars, lactose. Also, a lot of people don't know this about acne, is that if you're eating a lot of eggs, you will never heal your acne. Because eggs is actually known to feed in bad bacteria, and it populates more bacteria in your gut. So like eggs is beneficial in so many ways, but not for people that have acne. You need to be able to heal your acne first to be able to get back into eating eggs. I know so many people who eat eggs every single day and their acne just never heals. The moment I tell them to cut out eggs and dairy, incredible skin.
Sounds like I've got an unhealthy gut.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, I think I don't feel very bloated. Now, the location of the pimples, is that important? Or it doesn't matter?
Face or back?
Back.
Yeah, also unhealthy gut.
Unhealthy gut. I think everybody deals with unhealthy gut then.
Yeah, at some stage in their life, people are dealing with unhealthy gut. Yes, it's the majority of the population have an unhealthy gut, and it's a minority who have healthy guts. But you know, a healthy gut can be unhealthy really quick too. You know, it is. Yeah.
The good thing about the gut is that it's very forgiving.
It is.
It can clean itself pretty quickly. Now, for someone like me who has an unhealthy gut, based on the symptoms that you've said, what's the first thing I should do?
Cut out eggs. No
more eggs.
Cut out dairy.
Okay, no eggs, no dairy. And what supplements should I be having?
Collagen. Really great for skin. So collagen supplement. Quercetin. Really great supplement also. You know, when it comes to supplementation, I think I wouldn't suggest to overcomplicate supplements. I think you want to focus on anti-inflammatory, so turmeric is super important. You can take it as a supplement form, turmeric.
So turmeric is good for lining the gut?
Turmeric is great for anti-inflammatory.
Sure.
And people who have acne have inflammation. Like any disease that you get, inflammation is a culprit for that. And acne is caused by inflammation. And acne is not external, acne is internal. So if you're healing a lot of the inflammation that's being caused in your gut, turmeric is incredible for that. Ginger too. You know, you're trying to heal your gut health, and that's important. So I would suggest collagen, I would suggest turmeric, I would suggest fruits and vegetables. Fruits like wild berries, wild blueberries, everything in the berry family is incredible for gut health, as long as you wash them properly.
How, you mentioned this before about washing. I forgot to ask you, how do you wash fruit properly?
2 tablespoons of baking powder and water. Soak your fruit in for 5-10 minutes, and voila.
That's it?
Super easy.
Wow. So you just put it in a bowl.
With baking powder.
5-10 minutes. And then rinse it off.
Yeah, done.
That's easy.
It becomes shiny fruit.
Wow. Because, you know, when you touch the fruit here, when you touch the apple, there's a bit of a grease
you can see,
lining
you can
on
even
it.
see the coating that they put in there. It's like super shiny.
Yeah.
Fruit don't come out shiny.
No.
There's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's like super shiny.
Yeah. When I go to less developed countries, all the fruits that I see are like very quickly deteriorating.
Yeah.
I don't see it like an Instagram-worthy fruit there.
Yeah.
There's always something wrong, but that's natural.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the natural. That's how it should look. But the fruit, it's just too pretty.
Yeah.
When it's too pretty, there's something wrong.
Yeah. You mentioned prebiotics and probiotics before. What's the difference? What's a prebiotic? What's a probiotic?
So a probiotic is basically what we spoke about: kimchi, sauerkraut, the fermented foods, and they basically help promote good bacteria in our gut, which we need. And prebiotic is basically the food for this bacteria. So let's mean garlic, banana, oats. They're mainly prebiotics and mainly high fiber foods.
So what role do they play differently?
So basically a probiotic is what we need to populate the good bacteria, and prebiotic is the food to populate this bacteria.
Oh, I see. So the prebiotic is the food that feeds this probiotic.
Correct.
In that food.
Exactly.
Got ya.
Exactly.
Got ya. That makes sense.
How much probiotics do you consume in your life?
On a daily, I have like a protein drink that's like milky, but it's like the pre-bought ones from the shop, off the shelf. It's like a milk thing that's like got 27 grams of protein.
Probiotic.
Yeah, because it's like milk. But it's not yogurt.
I'm talking about more like, the fermented probiotics.
So you're talking about yogurt.
I'm talking about like kimchi and sauerkraut. I'm talking about those forms.
I have pickles, but not often.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
pickles.
Yeah, but not often. My house is like a bachelor pad. Like my fridge is like coffee and like.
Yeah,
you know
which
what
is
I mean?
I think most men.
I order everything.
Yeah, I know most men who are single and not married or in relationships
Yeah.
tend to pretty much live like that too.
Mm.
They just love ordering takeout. They want something quick and easy.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend too many hours in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But you know what I do recommend for men who are like that is to just invest in an air fryer.
I have one.
Yeah. Do you use it?
No.
Yeah, but when you do understand how easy and convenient an air fryer can be to make like really gourmet meals,
Sure.
you'd actually use it a lot more.
Sure. Okay, so okay, I love not having to go to Carrefour.
Yeah.
Carrefour's hell for
But
me.
you can order everything in now.
You can, you're right. But I always think to myself, how long is it going to take if it's yogurt or something like that, if it's in the heat, whatever. Obviously Dubai being hot. But if I was to go to the shop tomorrow, right, what would you recommend for me to buy to have in the fridge as the necessities? Yogurt? Should I be having yogurt?
If you have acne.
I don't have acne.
Okay, but if you were somebody that had acne on their back,
Sure.
I would prevent yogurt. I would stop having yogurt for the meantime.
Okay.
So yogurt, definitely a no. Dairy, a no. Fruits, I'd definitely ask you to get some wild blueberries.
Organic?
Wild blueberries is the ones that are frozen. You can only get them in freezer. You can't
Sure.
get them. Otherwise, they don't sell them, and they
Sure.
usually just sell normal blueberries.
Sure.
But wild blueberries are usually just in frozen section. Okay, so I'd definitely tell you to get some fruits and vegetables in your fridge for sure. As a necessity, coconut water. Get those electrolytes in. So coconut water for sure. I would ask you to get some fermented foods. So definitely get some kimchi. Definitely get some sauerkraut. I like to make those myself at home, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I would ask you to get some organic produce. So definitely, wild caught salmon. I love eating salmon. I would definitely recommend some chicken and some beef. Those are some staples I'd love for you to have in your fridge. Because you can make a completely healthy meal in an air fryer with those ingredients I just told you about.
Yeah, I just won't. That's the thing about me. I just won't.
You haven't tried. I'd like to challenge you to do that for a week, though.
I started kind of dating a girl for 2-3 months, not long, and we were doing these things together. It was like couple things to making things together.
Cute things.
Yeah, but when I'm on my own, I don't. I'd rather just get to work, go to the gym, and just order everything, Yeah. But I'm asking, with the coffee that I buy and everything that's in the fridge, do you think I need to be adding already made kimchi in a jar? Adding that to the fridge, having a little bit of kimchi. Something that I recently started doing, because this is huge in fighting cancer, is broccoli sprouts.
Yeah.
Sprouts. Do you have sprouts?
I have sprouts, but I also love microgreens.
Is that a powder?
So microgreens are basically just like parsley. They're small kinds of plants
Okay.
that before they even become a full-blown vegetable, they're like sprouts.
Sure, they're sprouts.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
And you buy them?
You buy them.
You buy them.
can buy them at the
Sure,
supermarket.
I grow
nowadays. You do?
I grow broccoli sprouts. It's so easy to grow.
Okay, so what's your process?
So there's a jar. and the jar has a mesh at the top. You put the seeds in there, you let it soak for 8 hours, and then after 8 hours you drain it, and it sits on a thing at an angle. It comes with this pack.
Yeah. Okay.
And you drain it out like into the tray, and then every day you have to rinse it 2 or 3 times, and then leave it there. After 5 days, you got a whole jar of broccoli
yeah,
sprouts.
that's amazing. So yeah, sprouts for sure. Microgreens are sprouts.
Yeah. So that I have a pinch of that.
Amazing.
With
well
food.
done. That's really good.
Right.
It's really good. Avocados, those should be a staple in your kitchen too.
Okay.
Healthy fats.
Yeah.
Coconut oil. So instead of using Listerine as a mouthwash, you do coconut oil pulling.
Oh wow.
So that's definitely better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better for your gums.
Sure.
And overall hygiene for your mouth.
Sure. God forbid, tomorrow you have a chest infection, okay, and the doctor gives you antibiotics. Would you take antibiotics?
I've had that. That's a good question actually. I had COVID. So last year, or when I did the test, it came out negative, but I know I had it. And so when I went and did an X-ray, it was like you could see like this fog in my chest, and I had that. So naturally, they prescribe you like a whole bunch of stuff that you should take. So it was like 5-6 different kind of like prescription stuff. So I ended up buying it, but I obviously took none. So there was one which was like a nasal spray, and then there were like a bunch of other medications which were purely synthetics that someone in my space would never take. So no, I wouldn't take it. But I know natural forms of remedies to heal these infections. So I always go the natural route, opposed to going to the unnatural route.
Got ya. So if somebody was to take antibiotics, what are some of the things that they can do to maintain the negative effect that it has on the gut?
So for those, so for example, I'd have clients who either went through like a surgery and they need to take an antibiotics, for example, to be able to like, combat the pain. I would always recommend to do a detox right after that. So I would recommend a particular smoothie juice that I get them to take to help repopulate the good bacteria in their gut. So it's a particular smoothie that I get them to drink.
Sure. What's in the smoothie?
Wild blueberries, spirulina, orange juice. Yeah, those are some of the ingredients in it.
Let's talk about poo.
Okay.
There's a study done in the 90s in Bristol in the UK, right? And it's now called the Bristol stool chart. Okay. Basically, this is the different kinds of poos that the study had. What out of this 7 types, what type would you say this person has gut problems and should see a doctor?
Definitely type 1.
Type 1? That's like a rabbit poo, to be honest.
Type 2. Definitely type 5, 6, 7.
So 3 and 4 is how it should be.
Yeah.
How your stool should be.
Totally.
Okay. So 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7 is probably grounds to go see a doctor.
I wouldn't say grounds to go see a doctor, but unless it's obviously causing you problems. But I would suggest that you need to look at and change your lifestyle if that's how you're pooing. And if it's not every day too. A lot of people develop hemorrhoids as they get older because they're constipated, and the push in the way they try to push their stool out, it's causing problems down there, so you're developing hemorrhoids.
Sure.
Hemorrhoids is a massive deal in this region. Every second person has it. They're either getting surgery to get it removed. So it's a big thing. It's a big deal. Also, the way we sit and how we poo, it's not at all like the Japanese style. It should be the Japanese way of sitting.
Is that when your knees are up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how you should be doing it.
Yeah. So basically, I have a stool in front of me, and I sit like that when I go and use the toilet.
Yeah, that's apparently how it should be done.
Yeah, it should be done that way, but most people are not sitting that way.
Because there's a band in the colon that when your legs are flat, it holds, it kind of restricts the access.
Yes, absolutely.
The Japanese are always doing things right, honestly.
Yeah, they're one to follow. It's a culture that we need to totally follow in terms of like how it works for longevity, and trying to change your own health. They have been doing it for centuries, And you know, most societies right now, or where we live today, in anywhere, like it's all the old teachings have been lost in translation, and they still live in that version and that bubble, which let's say, I wouldn't say so much larger cities like Tokyo. I would still say those that are outside of Tokyo still live that way and have produced a large amount of centenarians. But larger cities now like Tokyo are also like sleep deprived, you know, nutrition terrible. So yeah, I mean the death rate is much higher than those in outside of Tokyo, for example.
Okay. Have you been to Japan?
I haven't, but it's on my list.
Okay. It sounded like you would, just like you were talking about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I try to understand what's going on in the rest of the world when it comes to these kind of things in health and well-being. But it isn't just so much like Tokyo. I'm just talking about larger cities in general. Yeah. When it's very much a hustle culture. You know?
I understand. Yeah, I know what you mean. All this tea talk, you really made me want tea. And so I had to stop.
Happy. I'm glad that I, you know, created a positive impact just from this session.
Yeah. So I had to, and you know, I am not somebody that will take on the advice and not act on it, as you can see.
It's really good. What tea are you having?
Well, I'm having mint tea. I'm having the same one as you.
Nice, amazing.
You're just taking a leaf out of your book. It's ready to drink, by the way, if you want to drink it. Let's talk about your business, Be That Life. When did you start this business?
6 years now.
Wow, 6 years ago. And what is it?
Be That Life is a branch of many different things. So it's my health coaching business. So I do high-level coaching, health coaching. Then I have a podcast. And now I'm getting into the supplement space too. I'm also writing a book.
Wow.
So it's going to be a Be That Life book.
When are you releasing? So this is your first time releasing supplements?
This is my first time to ever get into the supplement space. Yes, my own for sure. I've you know, been a massive advocate for other brands that I really believe in, and I've promoted so many other brands to the clients that I work with because I really highly believe in the supplements. And yeah, I wanted to create the cleanest, purest products out there, and so Be That Life Supplements was born.
Incredible. And when are you releasing your supplements?
It's coming out next month.
Next month?
Yes, I'm very excited.
And when can people buy it?
People can buy it online at bethatlife.co. Also, I actually have a gift for you.
No way.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I got 2 gifts for you actually.
Okay.
One is a range of my supplements, so I have 4 that I'm releasing.
Gifts are actually my love language, so perfect.
Yeah. I knew that before coming here, and that's why I wanted to gift you these gifts.
Thank you. You've done your research.
Yeah, I totally have done my research. So I'm going to give you those 4 supplements right now and talk a little bit about them just so that it gives your audience a little bit insights as to what they are and why I believe so highly in them.
Perfect.
And then I have a second surprise for you.
Second surprise?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Okay.
So this is my brand. It's called Be That Life, and you know, as when you look, as I just wanted to share with you a bit of info as to the logo. When I designed the logo for Be That Life, you can see that the B is more like the shape of the gut,
the intestine, the colon,
and then T and L, and then there's a cute little leaf, and that's how Be That Life logo was created.
Oh, very cool.
So my 4 supplements, I'm going to start off with these 4 because when we decided to launch the Be That Life brand, and from a supplements perspective, I not just wanted to focus on great gut health, but I wanted to focus on longevity, really extending healthy lifespan. And how do we do that? How do we reverse the age of our cells? Is we need to put things into our body that really reduce inflammation. My first product is a collagen product, which is derived from cow. And the reason why I chose to have a collagen supplement, not just because of every single reason why it's being promoted online as a beauty supplement, but I wanted to promote it more as focused on joints and bones. Because as we age, I think people take that mainly for granted. And I also work with a lot of athletes and especially runners, and they develop a lot of joint pains already from running. And so this collagen supplement will help boost and help you retain really great bone and joint and gut health.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. I mean, I did ask what's the first thing I should do, and you said collagen.
There you go.
So there it is right there. So this is the first thing that you would recommend to put into your diet for supporting your gut lining.
Totally.
Perfect.
And another thing is all of the products that I have is just a one ingredient in every single product.
Sure.
So you know that you're getting the cleanest and the purest supplement possible out there.
And what do I mix this with? Water?
So there's also a misconception on how collagen is absorbed in the body. Now, a lot of people would just use collagen. They'll take a scoop of collagen and put it in their smoothie, in their bowls, or maybe just in a bit of water. But actually, collagen is best absorbed when you're drinking it when you're adding in some vitamin C, so orange juice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Orange juice.
Yeah, so you have to have it with orange juice to be able to absorb it well in the body. Otherwise, it's useless.
Ah, interesting. Very interesting. It doesn't have to be fresh orange juice. It can be the one from the store.
I would recommend fresh orange juice.
Okay. All right. You're making it hard for me now. Okay. I just want.
You can buy store-bought, but there's the store-bought version that's also
That's
fresh.
the
That
fresh
isn't
one.
the one that's loaded with just a ton of sugar.
Yeah, I know the ones
Yeah.
you're talking about. Okay. Thank you. Awesome.
You're welcome.
Okay. What's the next one?
The next one is our star product,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Energizing, and this is containing a sirtuin. Basically, we have sirtuins all over our body, and the sirtuins that operate in our body work in a way that provide our body to regenerate our cells. So it's always like focused on reversing the age of our cells, anti-aging. We've created a compound that's derived from seaweed, and it's called the SIRT6 activator. When we've done tests and trials on the SIRT6 activator, a symptom for taking the supplement is that it provides a lot of energy, but aside from that, it's just incredible for those who have Alzheimer's disease, so
Wow.
age-related disease. And when we've tested it on a controlled group of people, those that took SIRT6 activator, this energizing supplement, the inflammatory markers that we've tested are all super low
Wow.
than those that did not take it. So this is an incredible product for those that want to reverse the age of their cells, want to have an extremely healthy lifespan, and those that don't want to develop age-related diseases like Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
You need to take SIRT6.
Perfect. So this is anti-inflammatory. And when do I have this?
You can, it's written there.
So I have 2 capsules. Do I have it at night?
No, 2 capsules just any time of the day with the meal.
Anytime. Okay, with a meal. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then I have the Fusion Flow, which is boost athletic performance. Again, TMG is a compound in our body that we don't produce as much anymore as we age, just same as collagen. And taking this in combination with the Brain Boost, which is NMN,
Wow.
really incredible combination together.
Okay. Okay, so these two together.
These two together, yeah.
And NMN is basically for brain
But-
anti-aging.
Yeah, but NMN is known as a longevity supplement.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great for.
It's like stem cells.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like a stem cell in a supplement.
Yeah, in a supplement. Very kind, very kind. Thank you so much.
Again, they're all just one ingredient. You know, you're getting
Yeah.
the purest of the purest stuff. I don't believe in anything synthetic, so yeah, I want to
Yeah.
provide and create as much impact as possible. So for those that are interested to purchase my supplements, it's better to buy it. I have like a full stack so they can get all of them together and getting it as a better deal, or get it in combination with Fusion Flow with Brain Boost and collagen is really great with all of them together, or just with Energizing on its own, the
Sure.
SIRT6 activator.
Sure. Okay. Well, this is how I'll start, and I'll let you know how I go.
Yeah, I would love for you to give me some
I
feedback on
appreciate
the
you.
start of your supplement journey.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I need to, and I need to start
Totally, you know, as we age, you need to start thinking about that a lot more.
that. Yeah, for sure. Thank you
You're
so
very
much. Far
welcome.
too kind. Very kind.
Are you ready for your next gift?
What's my next gift? Is it a Rolex?
So the next gift I wanted to gift you is
Okay.
basically a brand called Arc of Sweden. And this Arc of Sweden brand is absolutely incredible because they do like cutting edge and innovative products. And they have basically created these Arc Drops. And these Arc Drops are basically natural performance boosters, and they give you a lot of energy right before you head to the gym. I also work with a lot of clients, to be honest, that have erectile dysfunction. So you know what that is, right?
Of course,
so
yeah.
that's obviously premature ejaculation, and those that, you know, are, and they don't really like to talk about it because it's not really a topic that you want to discuss. It's an embarrassing topic. The wonderful thing about these natural performance boosters is that it enhances your sex drive. So it's like a natural form of Viagra.
Wow.
So it keeps you going and going and going like an
Really?
Energizer bunny.
Really?
Yeah, really. So it's meant for men and women. I mean, it doesn't. The women don't have the same effect on men, but with men, every single time, it's only honey.
Oh, this is honey. Yeah. Got ya. Ah, interesting. So what do you do with this? You just eat it?
Yeah.
Or you put it in tea?
No, you just like eat it like that, and then boom,
Wow.
action. So I'm
Okay.
giving you some of
Well,
these.
thank you for that. I'll video call you when I have it, and I'll let you know.
Please don't. Yeah.
Please don't. I'll video call you so you can get a live feedback from my girlfriend.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Awesome. So this is a natural performance booster.
Yeah.
And this helps you go longer and obviously erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, it helps with people who have like really bad
Do you take
sexual
the
health.
Do you take the whole thing?
Just one sachet.
Yeah. Do you take
So
the
that
whole
lasts you-
one
yeah,
sachet?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. And how before? How much before?
You start feeling it like 20 minutes in.
Oh, so it's like you have it 20 minutes before
Yeah, you're about to.
you're about to go. Okay.
about to go, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Is this a bad time to tell you I'm a virgin?
No.
Okay.
You're not.
I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for the
It was
gifts.
so fun.
Thank you for the gifts. You spoiled me today.
Of course, you deserve to be spoiled.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Now that I know that you live in Dubai.
Yeah.
I didn't think you lived in Dubai. To
Yeah, I
be
live in
honest.
Dubai. I travel often, but I
travel a
live
lot.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I appreciate you. I'll start my journey and I'll keep everyone updated on my
I would love
my
that,
collagen
yeah.
journey
Thank you.
and my gut health.
Yeah, thank you.
But I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Do you want to give the camera a little clap?